Okay, for this question, okay, ignore this information here. For this question, is asking how how long does it take for a police car to catch up with a truck. So for the first part, it's asking you to find the to find the speed time graph, to sketch the speed time graph between the two vehicles. So I'm just going to show you the answer now. As you know from the question, the truck is traveling at a constant speed of 24 meter per second. So this will be the motion of the truck. While for the police car, it actually accelerates at constantly in 15 seconds, right, followed by a constant speed, right? So from there you get this motion, right? So this is the speed time graph of the first part. Okay, part A. Now for the second part, to determine the time taken, first you need to take one point to be the point where the police car meets the truck. So the most important thing to take note is that when the police car meets the truck, alright, something very unique happened. What is unique is that both the police car and the truck will have the same distance travel, alright, because they start from the same point, so the police car will have the same distance travel by that time. So the answer is actually here, but because it's too small, I'm going to write it down again. So you let t be time taken to meet, alright? Okay, so when they meet, the distance travel by the police will be equal to the distance travel by the truck. Alright, so how do you find the distance traveled by the police? The distance traveled by the police is actually this shaded region here from 0 to t. Then how about the distance traveled by the truck? How do we find the distance traveled by the truck? The distance traveled by the truck will be given by another shaded region, which is here. Okay, take note of the difference between the two shaded regions. Okay, the shaded region basically just represents the area under the graph, right, that is covered by the two vehicles, right? So for the police, let's use a bit more simplified way of doing a triangle and a rectangle. So the area covered by the police will be half 15 30 plus t minus 15 30, while the distance traveled by the truck is simply 24t. So if you just put them together, you'll be able to solve it as 37.5 seconds, right? So that's the solution for this part. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Now for this next question, right, actually it's very similar to the previous question that we mentioned just now, where you are asked to find the displacement time graph given the velocity. So in this case, you're given the velocity time graph, you're asked to find the acceleration time graph. So again, how do you find acceleration? It is actually the gradient of the velocity time graph, right? So in order to find the acceleration, we just have to know the gradient and we can interpret the acceleration. So let's look. Okay, let's move it up a bit. The first part, 0 to 4 seconds, the gradient is actually 0, right? So if the gradient is 0, that means that the acceleration from 0 to 4 is actually 0. So that's why here is 0. Okay. Now the next one is the gradient from 4 to 12 is a constant negative gradient. Alright, we can actually solve it. Okay, by actually calculating. So the rise is 4, the run is 8. So the constant negative gradient is actually 0.5. Okay. So if this is constant negative at 0.5, we will expect that from 4 to 12, the acceleration is 0.5 meter per second square, right? Then lastly, it is a constant positive gradient of, again, the rise is 4 and the run is 3, so it's a constant gradient of 4 over 3 or 1.33. So from there, we realize that it is a constant positive acceleration of 1.33. Alright, so this is how the acceleration time graph will look like.